hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's just me right now. I'm hoping, I'm hoping there'll be more, but maybe not. Maybe it's just me, and you guys have to hear me chatter. Um, yes. So I did mention, and I think I mentioned to some of you guys that next week I guess we'll be taking next weekend off, kind of thing. So we'll be back in about 2 weeks. But this is the last show for a little bit of a mini break. But we'll be back. Got Steven in the house. Welcome to the show, Steven. Yeah. It seems, right now, it seems like we've been having, the similar chats about everything and essentially about nothing. You know what I mean? About everything that we want to talk about, but about nothing, basically nothing in the sense that nothing's happened. We haven't, I don't think we signed anybody, but we're pretty close. But, got somebody coming in here late from the floor in front of the couch. The cats get the couch, and this man gets the floor. That's where he deserves to be. But in the show, he gets to stay up front. How you doing, Spencer?
I'm good. How are you doing today, Gary?
Doing good.
Tonight.
I'm doing
Long
good.
time of day.
It's still I can still see the sky, so it's not dark yet.
Well, you still see a light version of the sky. You always see it. Just depends on the shade of it.
There you go. Yeah, I was just like getting started here, thinking we can talk about everything we want to, but not everything we want to because there's nothing going on.
Really, not much.
But I don't know if we should have had. I don't know if they didn't have this early window, we would have much to talk about these days. I think this little, what is it, 10-day period? Yeah, the window shuts. I think, is it tonight at midnight or tomorrow at midnight? I can't remember.
I think it's tomorrow at midnight. It's all for the Club World Cup anyway.
I still don't understand that. It opens up 6 days later in the middle of the thing, and then they can still bring in players. So I don't get it. Got Miss Melina in the house. I saw a little bit of your show, Miss Melina. I believe you were doing it from the car. So yeah, but didn't catch all of it. But welcome to the show. Yes. Well, like I said, my little insider told me Zubimendi pretty much was a done deal, and it's just a matter of time. And we're getting little bits of information now. Information now is that contractually, most of the paperwork is done. So the only things are not done are the things that couldn't be done because the player was still playing in the Nations League. Not anymore. And he hadn't taken a physical. So I think it's the hand of Arsenal that said it online. Not the same person I have get information from, but yeah, sounds like Zubimendi is going to be the first one. It's weird because, for me, and about you, Spencer, but I hope he's not our flagship transfer this window.
He might be. I mean, I don't. I mean, the price tag they're saying, $80 million. And 2 players right there, that puts you at 130.
Yeah,
and that's with another player.
You're thinking, or you're talking about both Zubimendi and Šeško?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I feel like Zubimendi's the flagship. I mean, I know Šeško costs more, but he's just his more potential than he is. That's what he's worth. I mean, I think if Zubimendi had a higher release clause, that might have made a difference in how much we would have gotten for him.
Well,
and once he decided, once he kind of pushed off, I think he pushed off last year.
Mm-hmm.
As a player does that, then I think they have a little bit more control in the situation in regards to, I really want to go now, so let me go.
I mean, it's the budget thing I wonder about, is how much they really have to spend, because there's always the reports of war chest and that. Again, like some of the stuff is just really weird because it's like advancing, progressing, war chest.
Mm-hmm.
Just weird. The terminology that's used to write an article. God bless them for it.
Well, there's a lot of words in the dictionary.
I mean, it's funny because like you always think like if you're like, "Hey, we got 25-page paper," the guy that wrote the transfer articles is like, "Say no more. I'll give you 26." But I guess is he, if he's the flagship one?
I feel like Zubamendi is because Chesko Arteta's already come out and said, and many people believe that when he said that Kai Havertz is going to have a role to play, it kind of meant he would at least be getting some minutes, if not starts, ahead of Chesko. Because where else?
He's gonna have to play a role.
Where is he going to? No, but I mean, he said it. When it comes from Arteta, it sounds like, I got, my man is going to play, as opposed to what I would like to say is the best player will be at the minutes. Let me just say hi to a couple of people and then we'll continue on. I know I left you there, but think about what you're going to say. Got
Mhm.
Why Not in the House? Says we go on break and still nothing. Yeah, you're right. But you know what? When we come back, there'll be something to chat about, I believe. We'll be back. What is it? It'll be a week, 2 weeks from now. It'll be the 20. What would it be? The 23rd.
Mhm.
We will have something to chat about. I believe so. Hopefully, 3 or 4 players, but we shall see. Why Not says hello. Says good evening, both myself and you, Spencer.
Mhm.
I see somebody trying to join in the back, so we'll see if he'll get in time. It seems like we've been waiting for Zubamendi, Shesko. I mean, if you think about a lot of the players that we've brought in, we've had our eye on them for a bit, right? Jorginho, we had eyes on him. William, we had eyes on him before we actually brought him in. I mean, we don't we hold on to that phone number. You know what I mean? Like the girl tells you to throw the phone number away because I don't want to talk to you anymore, and we still hold on to it just in case. And it seems like that seems to be working because they always come back, or they always go, "I wish I would have stayed with you," or "I wish I would have come to you." You know what I mean? You had that with what's his name? Who is that? Oh my gosh, who's some people say he's the best player in Emirates history. Why is my head gone blank?
Henri.
No, Emirates, not Highbury.
Oh, sorry.
Who is our attacker?
Ozil. No.
No, our attacker who actually scored lots of goals with Ozil.
Not Giroud, right?
Not Giroud, because Giroud didn't start for us.
Oh, you got Alexis Sanchez?
Sanchez, yes. I was gonna say Sanchez, but I didn't want to get it wrong. I had Sanchez in my head, and I couldn't. Yeah, but Sanchez, when he left and went to Manchester United, and then basically regretted it.
Mm-hmm.
I think people. I don't know how many times we see that from Arsenal. People will leave us and go, "I wish I would have stayed."
Yeah.
Or they had a sometimes their lives are successful, but other times not so much. Tony is in the back, but it's all blank, so I don't know if he can hear us. I can't see you, my man. And if you can join, if your camera's messing up, let me know. The guy writing the article has his Oxford there, thesaurus out whilst googling synonyms. You got that right. You got that right. And that Kepa deal for me came out of nowhere. If the 5 mil is right, then it's a steal. Yeah. I think 5 mil, and the fact that his salary is low, in like less than 6 digits. I don't know what people want us to do. I would have went for John Garcia last summer. That's what I would have done when we didn't spend much in the summer. I would have went for him then. And then now it doesn't seem like they want to spend the money, which is okay. Makes sense in some degrees, but Kepa is an expensive mistake. He's not. A seasoned goalkeeper for 5 mil, and I think 70K a month. A week. I don't think so.
I mean, if the argument that it's an expensive mistake is because he's a Chelsea player, then that's not a really good argument in my opinion.
No. And
I mean, if you want to talk about the sorry where he didn't come out, the sorry moment. I mean, sure, okay, maybe.
You know what? But when was that? Do you remember when that was?
Oh, like 2019.
Yeah. So Tony just went. I was just about to join. And let Tony join. And Tony, say hello.
Hello.
Hello. That sorry thing with Kepa, and I'll Tony if you want to join in on this. For me, that was a immature person. in that situation. Now, I don't believe that's the same person we're getting. I believe he's matured some since then, like most people do. Probably looks back at that and probably goes, I can't do that. That's not how this thing works. I believe he's a more
Yeah,
mature person. I think same thing with like the way Guendouzi that we had and the Guendouzi that you're seeing in Marseille, not the same person. I believe you get humbled sometimes when you come out like a certain way, and you learn to figure out how to do this thing better. So yeah, Tony, what you said?
for him, it changed when he got married. When Doozy had kid, it kind of
Hmm.
changed.
Yeah,
But he
definitely.
was good.
Family life will definitely change things. Family life will definitely change things. Um, but yeah, no, I feel that's not the same guy. And from what I saw in the Premier League when he did play, he looked like a decent backup for us. Somebody who's played in the league for multiple years, and we don't have to worry about that much. So I don't even know. Did he win any? Did he won? He won trophies with Chelsea, didn't he? I had. Let me see, because I believe he did. Let's see what it says here in the old Wikipedia. His honors are.
I'm gonna step away for 1 second.
Yep. Yeah, he has won a Champions League, Europa League, a Super Cup, and a Club World Cup with Chelsea. So I would say he's got some experience. He may not be the starter and whatnot, but he's won a La Liga with Real Madrid, Super Copa de España, and another Champions League. So he's been on 2 teams with Champions League. He was at Real Madrid a couple years ago or I guess a year ago when they won. So I would say he's been humbled and he knows how to I think contribute. So he's contributed to 2 teams that have won Champions League. How many? I don't know how many players we have in our squad right now coming in that have multiple Champions Leagues that they've actually been part of.
It's weird because goalkeepers generally they're at their peak at 35, 3 or 4 years before they retire.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no, I think for the price, it's experience that you're getting, and I don't think. And when anybody brings up that sorry stuff, I kind of felt like that was a long time ago. I believe people get better for it. So, yeah. You know what? Why not? Hope we're not disappointed again. I just think it's. I don't think it's expensive to get a backup goalkeeper for $5 million. I mean, he makes more money than our academy players, which he should. He's got the experience. But $5 million, I can't. I don't think you could ever say $5 million for a backup goalkeeper is too much. Yeah.
Yeah, and we probably won't use a guy much anyway.
I mean, we'll probably use him, more than we use Neto. I mean, if our academy kids can get, I believe both of them played and both of them were part of wins, right?
Yeah.
I think Neto could play in those games much less, even more, and help us out. So, yeah. No. Next week I'm canceled. I thought to myself, should I let you guys know I'm not canceling until next week, or give you a heads up? But when I give the heads up, and the last thing you remember me saying is we're not having a show, but that'll be in 2 weeks from now. We'll be back, 23rd. We'll be back. Kappa is low on quality, high on wages, and yeah, you keep saying high on salary. He is not high on salary, my man. Backup goalkeepers don't make that much money. Let's check it out. I'm going to go to Capology. You got anything to say about Neto? I'm sorry, not Neto, but
No.
Kepa?
We needed a better backup. We got a better backup. So.
Yeah, and I think it was Bournemouth, right? That he was at. Is that right? I think he was at. Is it Bournemouth? I think. Bournemouth. Yeah, Bournemouth 75 K a week is what he was. He was the third highest salary on the team, but if you look at our team, you know, you're gonna be over 200 if you're the third highest. I mean, score salary. So, I mean, if you look at let's look at Liverpool, who's Liverpool's goalkeeper. Let's see, Liverpool. Here we go. Let's see what their goalkeeper was because I think he will. We'll see if he's even close to that. Let's see, Kelleher. Where is it? Kelleher. Oh man, Kelleher was only at 10K. So maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Kelleher is at 10K, but I know he's a lot younger. So I have a feeling that's one of the reasons why he gets paid that much. Let's see. City's goalkeeper might be a good. Who's City's backup goalkeeper was who? Think about it. Edison made 100, so you're probably right about that. I forget who's their goalkeeper. I don't know. Scott Carson was at 30, so maybe you're right. Maybe it is a lot. I don't think so, but maybe it is a lot. But when you've got players like City has players at 500K, and Scott Carson was at 30. You know, our discrepancy isn't that big. But I hear you. I don't think it is. I see 70 mil price tag went straight to his head. Yeah. Well, you know what? I think there's also the pressure. The pressure from that price tag. Same thing with Pepe. Sometimes you put a lot of money towards a player, and then they feel that pressure indirectly. Yeah. He cost Chelsea 5-6 years ago, but he didn't hurt Bournemouth this year. I mean, we actually played against him, right?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely a Freudian slip there with me saying Neto. Yeah, I don't think Kevin's going to be a waste like Neto was. I don't think so. Neto wasn't a Bournemouth player, Gary. No. I meant to say Kepa was. Yeah. Kepa full wages was 170K, but I don't think we're paying 170 for him. I think his salary I think it's gone down if my understanding is correct. So I think if you're thinking he's getting the same salary, then that would be a high price, you know. And I think that would be actually more than, I mean, let's see. I think that's a lot. And I don't think Raya is making that much. He isn't. I'm like looking at it, and Neto is making 50, and Raya was making. Where is Raya? Raya. Right. He was making 100. So no, I don't think we're bringing in a backup goalkeeper who's going to make more than our starting goalkeeper. So I have no doubt. Kepa and Garnacho, what a time to be excited now. I think that Garnacho news is just. I've said this before. Just put Arsenal in any transfer rumor, you get traction. You get everybody get traction. You put Arsenal's name on anything. You see it all the time.
Goalkeepers.
Yeah. It's easy to get traction. You put Arsenal in the title. You mention Arsenal. You know, anything. Yeah. Reports have kept on our books for 100. All right. Well, we'll see. That's the same as Raya right now. So that sounds right. I think that's the same as Raya. Where's Raya? Raya's name here. Ray is Spanish. Yeah, 100. Yeah. He might be, you know what? Well, Ray had just signed a new contract, so there you go. So, yeah. That sounds like a lot for a backup if that's what we're paying him. I don't, maybe there's some money offset there. I don't know. Bucharest to United and Zubareni to Real makes some sense now. Well, I don't know. If you believe that Zubimendi and Real are connected, then you should also believe that Zubimendi has signed all the paperwork, and the only thing that's left to do is transfer the money and get the medical done. because that they're about as close to Real. You know, if you believe the Real is turning Zubamendi, I think the fact that the paperwork, and my understanding is the paperwork is signed, the contracts are pretty much. It would have to be some contractual way to break out of this for him. So I don't think. I mean, I'm going to go by what I know. Zubamendi to Real, I think that's just a lot of paper talk and a lot of getting Arsenal's name out there and stuff. But I don't. And then I've heard the deal is done. We're just waiting for the right time. Waiting for the time based on what.
Yeah, well, we're waiting for a tournament to end, Gary.
Yeah, well, the tournament to end, but there's also some people say July 1st for some fiscal years for some of the players. So we'll find out which one it is for Zubamendi, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's the start of the week, so maybe he will. We'll find out before the end of the week if he's if it was just a tournament or not. I mean, it makes sense, right? If a player's in a tournament trying to win it, it's going to less likely have opportunities to talk to, go get through all that paperwork stuff. But supposedly that's done, so we shall see. Bucharest United. I think I don't know about you, Tony, but if Arsenal doesn't want him, what do you do?
Look for somebody better.
Well, that's what we hope they've done, but right now it sounds like they may have just, Shesko is the one they want to go with.
It keeps changing here both ways.
Well, Shesko has more of the characteristics that we want, just not the maturity in the game. Bucharest has maturity in the game, but maybe not all the traits that we look for in our strikers from an Arteta's perspective.
Still think we should be sharper in the Premier League.
You still think what?
We should be sharper out the Premier League.
That is, yeah. I don't know why that's not one of the options. The only options seem to be international strikers, which seems kind of like okay. And I think there's no striker in the Premier League that fits Arteta's mold of what a striker should be.
What's his name for Brighton? Got what? 20 goals?
João Pedro, I think his name. That's right.
I'm not sure.
I think it's João Pedro, the headbutt guy, right? Isn't that their striker? I think that's their striker. He headbutted with Saliba. They got a penalty for it and drew the game. I know he's an attacker, but I thought he was
might be one of their wingers or something.
Let's check it out. So you said Brighton, huh? Brighton it is. Let's see. Let's see. I'll just go to the last game. They scored 4. Lineup.
20.
So, you mean Solanke was that's not.
Yeah.
He didn't even play in the last game. Interesting. Del Pedro must have been injured. So let's see when he played us. Let's see. Boom. I didn't think we played. When did we play them? I thought we played them towards the end of the season. No.
Yep.
Doesn't look like it. I'm looking at the games played, and I have to go back 3 pages now. Where's the Arsenal match? Here it is. And lineup. Brighton. Yeah, João Pedro was their striker. He scored the only penalty, their penalty shot. So yeah, João Pedro is who you're saying. If you're saying, if you're talking about a striker from the Premier League, 6'2", 23 years old. Let's see, do we get a total here? Played in 30 games, scored 10, 27 Premier League games, scored 10 at 6 assists. So there you go. You would take him?
That's not the one I was talking about.
No, I bet that's their leading striker. I bet that's their leading striker, though, unless they had somebody else score more than 10 goals. I mean, their forwards were João Pedro, Danny Welbeck, and Tom Watson. I never heard of Tom Watson's name, so I think you might be thinking of a different team. I think you might be thinking of a different team. Let's see what we got here. Spencer is back. Kepper's doing the same job as Neto. Sweet. FA. Anything above 50K just to want for every week. Yeah, no. I get you why not. My understanding was a 70, which I didn't think was much. But I think when you look at our, 70 is towards the bottom of our wage scale. So, yeah,
Well,
I think Edison is on 100K.
a release clause means you'd have to renegotiate the contract. It means you're buying the player permanently.
Yeah, no, it's 5 mil that we're paying to get him.
Yeah, but then you'd figure out a new wage structure, and he would not get 70K.
Well, he's getting 170 now.
He ain't getting that here. I'll tell you that.
That's what I'm thinking. 8 clean sheets, 31 games last season. So you know what? That was a good backup to have. I don't know what we're spending on him, but like I said, I would have spent the money on João Garcia in the summer. So check out what Sophie from Highbury Squad said, putting out regarding. I don't know. You got to tell me what that is. I'm not looking at it now.
Maybe we can't do it now.
Providing our defense stays fully fit or change. I don't know what that means. Yeah. Superman Day is a release clause now. You know what? That's the thing. A lot of these players have release clauses, but you know how it works. We don't pay the release clauses. So there's a payment structure that plays into all of this. So that's why it takes a bit of time to work out for us, is my understanding.
It depends what league they are. Cause like, you get to the Spanish, whatever they're called.
La Liga.
Yeah, but I know La Liga, but I'm just saying the leadership, what it's called. Like,
Yeah, I mean they have release clauses, but nobody ever pays them straight up unless they're younger players and stuff like that. Yeah. If you want to tell me what she said, BX, we can chat about it. His U-turn again, the way he did to Liverpool. We'll see. You know what? There's a lot of things saying that is not happening this time around, so we'll find out.
Yeah, Gary has a source that says it's happening.
And there's another person on that people supposedly, will swear by, hand of Arsenal, who said the similar thing. Contract paperwork's done. Only thing that hasn't been done right now is money exchange, any physical.
So why would you do contract paperwork without doing a physical first?
So that as soon as they're
like
done,
taking the car out for a test drive.
It's like, well, if the player's leaving, the player's leaving. That was probably how it would happen anyways. All the paperwork would be signed off and ready to go. And then when they would fly and do the medical, and then it's done. So,
He still wants you to go read it.
Huh?
He wants you to go read it.
Oh.
I'll tell you what.
Did he send me a link?
He didn't, but I'll tell you what I'll do. You guys waffle, and I will Google it real quick.
All right, cool. João Felix. Oh, João Felix. Oh, he's from Barcelona, right? So
yeah.
That's a lot of money for him, and where like his stature in Barcelona, though, that's a lot. That's for me even a worse deal than Kepa, in the sense that I don't feel like we're getting whatever they talk about in João Felix. Unless I'm mixing him up with somebody else. Didn't he come to Chelsea and then he's gone back, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what you saw from him at Chelsea and what you've seen from him in Barcelona. It doesn't look like it would work for us, right? Got Tiger and Good in the house. Welcome to the show. Watts, Canton, and Simeon are the PR troopers. We are PR. No, I don't necessarily watch those guys regularly. I mean, I think I watch Watts, but don't really watch everybody. I mean, Sometimes they have a lot of inside information, but it's a different perspective. So what do? And either I listen to people who know as much as I do and like their takes, or I listen to people that supposedly have more information than me. So it's a catch-22. The players
Ornstein
were,
had us
yeah,
having a pretty big shopping list.
yeah,
So basically, she's basically saying that she got a message from somebody
mm,
that paperwork's been signed, but that Real Madrid are now flirting with them, and he's potentially going to do a U-turn on Arsenal to go to Real Madrid.
yeah. Supposedly, the way for that U-turn to happen means the courts would have to get involved.
Yeah, I'll tell you what we could do. And this is a good idea. How about we sign him, do the contract, and then we go Real Madrid. You want him? 75 million, and flip him. Okay, sure, we can flip product. Or how
Sure.
about this? You want Zubamendi so bad? Just fork up Rodrigo and you can have him.
Sure.
I don't see a problem with this. It seems like this might work out in our favor. I know this is not how it really works. I get it,
Yeah.
but why not?
I mean, it could work out if the contractual stuff is a reality and all of that, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
They want Zubamendi, we get Rodrigo. You can spend the money on.
Well, you're gonna have to keep Partey right now. That seems to be a sticking point.
Yeah.
He hasn't said yes, so yeah. I hear that, but I think we need to be holding on to our players instead of moving them on. So I feel this is a typical Arsenal signing. Underperform. Yeah, see that's okay. You don't want. Why would you want him then? You don't want him. Why would you bring up his name if you don't even want him? I just because Arteta wants to get somebody who sucks doesn't mean we should even say it's okay bringing a name up. I don't want to do that. Like I said, I if I can see it, then I assume others can see it. I never thought he was a player that would work for us because I always say I like to pick players that are trending in the right direction. All right, Zubamendi is trending in the right direction. Shesko is trending in the right direction. He's not there, but he's trending in the right direction. All right. Kappa is just a backup, so that's not an issue. The next set of players that we bring in, those will be the other ones. We'll find out, how serious we are. This window isn't kicking off the way we expected. We couldn't afford to start slow while I right. Nothing until the people are walking up that those steps to get on the plane to go wherever we're going. Then you can probably say it's over. Right now we don't know. Right. Right now we don't know.
It's still early.
Yeah,
and only Chelsea and City have signed players.
Some of the Chelsea players we're not going after.
Yeah,
The City and Liverpool players that are out there,
deal.
I don't. It doesn't look like we are interested in any of them, right? So
No.
So if we had a different manager, I could see your point, but we don't. We have Arteta, so if they're going to play towards his strengths to some degree, then I can't see it work. Those players working out for us. I always think that we bring in a player that has the potential to get us over the hump. That puts a lot of pressure on Arteta, and I think I believe that's what sucks about it. Like if you bring in a Gyökeres, it has to work. And I don't know if Arteta would make it work. I think he still has a box that he's got to fit people in. And if it doesn't fit, then we have problems. Not my choice, but if Arteta
have we
wanted
seen
to keep,
United actually sign anybody? We keep hearing rumors. Like
yeah.
there's rumors. Like City has definitely added
No,
players.
so they didn't. They got Kuna, right? Cunha.
I haven't seen him do a shirt yet.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I thought
sure they
Cunha was
picked up
done
2 or
already.
3 players.
Yeah, Cunha might be one of those like contractual things, like what we're. You know what the thing is? Whatever. If we do something, it's looked at one way. If everybody else does it, it's just part of the business. So I hate that part of it. We can't if we do the same thing as another team, it's looked differently upon, even by our own fans. Right? Who's to say this Wirtz deal isn't going to happen until July 1st because of the same thing? Right? City just added 3 signings. Liverpool are about to add Wirtz to Frimpong. United are adding attackers. What are Arsenal doing? Not
But
enough.
Kuna's not holding a shirt up. I don't see it. But again, like I know it's probably more likely going to happen, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The only people I've seen actually sign players is actually City. We've heard about the Frimpong, we've heard about the Wirtz, but we haven't seen it actually happen. So you could legitimately make an argument that Liverpool and United aren't moving quick enough.
Yeah.
Because we keep hearing stuff about Arsenal, Sesko, and Zubamendi. So what's the difference between us and them? There's really no difference. All it is being reported right now.
Yeah, Cunha, it was a here we go. When Bueno, I don't think it's a here we go. We have one in
I don't trust anything that man says.
But
Fabrizio, no.
But you know what? When he said that, that was the same time I got information saying that, that's pretty much a done deal. We're not really worrying about that one anymore.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Kuna's going to go to United. It hasn't happened yet. We can't sit there and say we're acting slow.
Yeah, no, but you're saying it's done, but it's not done.
I know it's not done.
No, I'm saying to Big Gunner. Everybody's saying it's done, but in reality, it's not done. As you said, paperwork, everything has not been completed. If it was, we would have heard about it. I think so. Liverpool, Frimpong is definitely done. Wirtz is still going back and forth, right? Yeah. They're working out how they want to pay it, or if they're gonna just do it. So, but I mean, they're like you said, nothing. If you look at their rosters, they don't have them listed there. Yeah. Here's why not? I hear you on this one. I don't know how we're making up 10 to 20 points if Liverpool is getting themselves back into order, and City we know will just spend until they can't spend anymore. But if we stay healthy, nothing to say we can't. I mean, I think we still have the best center back pairing in the league. I think Timber is, up there with some of the top fullbacks in the league. I think Skelly is getting there.
Yeah, Frimpong's officially announced.
Yeah.
But Wirtz is not. Kuna's not.
So I think defensively we're solid. If Partey stays on and we get Zubamendi, I think we're solid in that back five. Rea is up there with all the other goalkeepers. So defensively, I think we're sound. The scoring is where we need to make the difference, and Zubamendi to some degree will help us. All right, he'll help us get there, do a little bit more than Partey in that offensive, in that counter attacking, stuff that we need to do. And he's probably healthier than Partey, so he's So I kind of felt like defensively we're sound and we can keep up with all. I think we're better than City defensively. We can, Van Dijk definitely makes a difference for Liverpool. Frimpong will help them. Wirtz is going to be the question mark. How does that play out? Because that should be a big plus for them. So
I mean, we've heard rumors of Kudus too, right?
Rumors of who? Kudus, yeah.
Kudus.
Yeah.
If you got Sesko Kudus.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be horrific.
It's done. They just have to announce it, just like ours are done, but we just haven't announced it.
That's the other thing. A lot of players are playing international games right now too. So
yeah.
I mean, that's a point that Tiger Gunner's bringing up. I'm happy with the big Gabby signing. That's a big.
We have a lot of players. Yeah, so we have not necessarily same as a signing thing, but we definitely have, players that we have to hold on to if we're going to keep this run going.
So, that's a good re-signing too.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you think about it. You've got Gabriel, you've got Saliba, you've got Saka, you've got Emels Skelly, you've got Nweri. I think those are 5 players that we definitely have to get pen to paper on.
That's very important too. It's an important part of it. Yeah. But I don't know. The only team I see being quick is City.
Yeah.
And Chelsea. Chelsea did the last.
I don't think we can look at City and the way Chelsea do business and go, why aren't we like that? Nobody's like that. Liverpool didn't even buy a player. They bought one player last year, and he sat on the bench for them.
And they still
say Liverpool is like them is not. I don't think that's true either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had a whole year to figure out what to do next, right? And it's good when you win a trophy. You win a league, makes it easy. Got Rosie in the house. Thanks for joining us, Rosie. As Rosie says, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah, there was a rumor about Garnacho that came out.
Yeah, please no. Please no.
For the right price, yes.
It's like 70.
Oh God, no, never mind.
That's what I. That's
more
the.
like 10
That's
million.
the. No, not going to get him for cheap.
I'm talking about market value, not
the potential. Supposedly that yeah. And for those who are into the wrestling, R-Truth or Ronald Killings, as he's called on Twitter, left and has returned. And it sounds like they said, "Yeah, you can come back." And then sounds like he's getting a talking to or getting thrown down by Senna. I don't know. Not watching it. All right. Everybody saying hello. Got Anthony Herbert in the house. I don't believe it. Right after Garnacho. Yeah, I don't believe that one. If anybody's concerned about that one, I think you need to, just block that word from your.
If you got him for
Twitter.
10 million.
Not getting anybody for 10 million.
I get that, but I'm saying like there's certain value, right? Like Kepa at 40 million, I got no interest. Kepa at 5 million, you have my interest peaked. I mean, I know our chat will they probably not agree with me, but if you could get Garnacho for 10 million, they would probably take that deal too. I know that's fantasy world and not going to happen, but I'm just doing a what if.
True. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't. No, not when if you're looking at Garnacho in the word as you're looking at Nico and you're looking at Rodrigo, and you're looking at Lookman in terms of the level of player that you're trying to bring in, Garnacho wouldn't be in that list. That's like that's a separate list. That's a list where you've gone through all of your first page, potential acquisitions, and you go, you know what? Nah, we can't find anybody. Nobody said yes. Yeah. Sorry about that, Tony. I missed you. See your message there from.
Yeah, I don't know.
Your message. Yeah, you were coming in and out. That's the only reason why I didn't bring you in. Yeah. Oh wait, damn it! I'm talking to him, and sorry, Tony. I'm like, why did he write that? You know what? I saw you, and I was like, cool, he's back, and I didn't bring you in. My bad.
And I was there talking with you, so.
If you usually wave at me or something. You just sat there smiling, so I thought you were listening to me.
No,
even though you're not.
I waved earlier.
Oh, you did? Okay, I missed it. Oh, sorry. Yeah. See, Garnacho brings something to the table I like. So you like Garnacho, but you think everything else we're doing is wrong. I don't know about that one. Nah, I'm sorry. BX, I'm not gonna agree with you on this one.
Yeah.
He's a talent, but I don't. I think he's got the same talent that for me that Martinelli has. Will it play out? I don't know. Because especially if you think about the way we play, I don't know if Gardner. I think it's a specific type of play that fits in and works. They have to be. I don't think he's as clinical as we want him to be. I don't know if he's as fast as a Martinelli.
You would take minutes away from Nweri.
Well, it all depends on what their plan is for Nweri. He's on the right side, Garnacho.
I don't.
If you're bringing him in, he's got to be a starter for you. Then no, he's not taking minutes away from Nweri.
No. Oh, he don't make it until 11.
I'm saying you said he's taking minutes from Nweri, but if he takes minutes from the right side, then yes.
Well, I'm just saying, there's the minutes that Nweri would get substituted on to play, he would take. That's my point.
How is he taking minutes when he's only playing behind Saka and Erdegaard? Garnacho isn't playing behind those two players.
No. What I'm saying is if you brought Garnacho in, he might take the minutes that Nweri would get.
But how? He would have to take minutes away from Saka or Erdegaard, and he's not doing that.
Tony, you get what I'm saying now? I don't think Gary's understanding it.
I get it, but I don't agree with you.
No, I don't agree with myself either. I think Nweri should get those minutes.
I don't understand why they're not even playing the same position. I don't understand how the minutes are being taken away. Are you trying to tell me that we need to bring in an attacker on the right side and Garnacho's the first name that comes up? We need to bring in somebody behind
I'm a fanboy for Garnacho.
Erdegaard.
I don't know how I got on the edge of
You are like trying to. Why? I just don't understand how he's taking minutes away from Nweri. I don't get that.
I mean, I wouldn't take Garnacho over Trosser. I wouldn't take him over Martinelli, and I wouldn't probably take him over Raheem
No,
Sterling
we need better than Garnacho.
in his
we
prime.
need, but we need better. So,
I don't know. I had to defend Garnacho there.
I didn't bring up Garnacho. Why not? I'm no thanks.
I'd take Yao Felix over Garnacho.
But I don't want Joao Felix either. I don't want either.
I didn't feel like the question.
I'm pretty sure he's going to Saudi Arabia.
You know, a lot. It's like a lot of players have that option to go get paid, man.
Get that bag.
Young and old.
Yeah,
Martinelli can't score the goals.
Enjoy
Garnacho
the heat.
scored, in my opinion. You know, that's yeah. But I don't. For me, I don't think Garnacho is the answer for us. So I don't know. I could be wrong.
It's just a United reject, guys.
Yeah, and that's another thing. So now we're getting the rejects from Manchester United. So everybody's okay with that. Might as well want you to go. You know.
Yeah, what's wrong with another Chelsea player? Maybe we can just go sign one on an 8-year deal. Maybe we can get Mudryk for $10 million and sign him to a 9-year deal.
No, I don't want Garnacho. So having Martinelli and Garnacho wouldn't be a bad thing. What? I don't want Martinelli and I don't want to bring Garnacho. For me, Martinelli and Trossard, bye. If I had an option to do that,
Garnacho is like that's like hitting on the fat chick at the dance. You know what I mean? You're kind of everything else is really kind of falling apart for you in that line, so you settle for Garnacho.
Yeah, I don't. You
don't condone that. I get it. That's my fault. I'm sorry.
No, I don't know. I don't. No. I you know, I don't talk like that. So
sorry, I did. I'll own it. That was me.
No, I don't want Martinelli. I don't want to go Nacho. Both of them just doesn't do it for me. They're left wing, so that's why I don't. I want a legitimate starter to come in the left wing. That's where the Nico Williams, the Rodrigos, the Kudus, you know, anybody on that left side that we can bring in. You know, and I don't know who in the Premier League on the left side that we can bring in. But yeah, that's what I want. That's what I would want.
That's one of our targets according to Ornstein, and a backup for Saka.
Is Garnacho?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know Kudus is his name's come up now,
winger.
And so I don't know. Yeah. Broncos straight up Garnacho defense league there battling for your. Yeah, he's Garnacho's lawyer. He's got to tell you.
I legitimately didn't have enough time to prevent that defense, so I was really trying to defend your boy Nweri, but apparently it wasn't. You know.
No, you were great. Well, you didn't need to bring Nweri into that conversation.
I'm just saying you don't want anybody that's going to take minutes away from Nweri, and I figured
he's not going to do that. That's the thing you're missing. You're missing that point. He's not taking minutes from Nweri. It's because not Garnacho
over him. Yeah, Arteta and his love for Garnacho and the Argentinians.
Yeah. I saw somebody. I was listening to some people today. I don't know how true it is, and they said that Arteta, coming from the Basque region, is only taking players from a certain region of Spain, and so like the other players in the other regions, he's not taking. I don't know how true that is.
Well, basically, that part of Spain wants to break off and be its own country.
Yeah,
Spanish politics is really strange.
So, if you're doing that with your job, then you're doing that's a bad way to do a bad career choice. I always say you go into certain things, you're gonna like if your objective is to make money, then you're gonna make money no matter what. If your objective in this case is to win games, then you should go get the best players. If you're gonna start saying I can't take you or you or you. You're basically minimizing your options and then restricting yourself from winning. Did you guys see what Garnacho and Manu did to City in the FA Cup final last year? Yeah, they look good. City doesn't look good. You know. Yeah. And then this year, what did they do this year? What did those two players do this year? Does anybody know? Like, did Man U build on that FA Cup win that they got last year
Nope.
in the league? Did it help them in the league? Like, how'd they do?
Shitty.
Well, not very good.
Mm.
It was a very well and underperforming season for United,
Mm.
and I do
Yeah,
like Coyg here though.
and they look good, but I always think sometimes young players will look good for a bit, and then at some point people figure out how to play them, and then you're like, why don't they look so? They don't look so good the second time around? Because you know what, people give you the benefit of the doubt and then get punished for it, and then the next thing you know, they're playing you differently.
I think there is facts to this though that if a player's at a place that has less structure, especially a young player, that is possible for them to underperform and underdevelop.
Mm.
But I think Why Not said 100% the most accurate statement, also judging by his attitude, and it stinks. You've got a young player, and this again goes to the culture of United. There's no leader on that team that's going to Garnacho and saying, why are you posting what you're posting online?
Yeah, and that's where for
There's
me,
nobody being a father figure.
yeah, and that's why for me, I mean, I think it's similar, not an exact. It's a similar scenario in the sense that I don't think Erdegaard is the right captain for us right now. I don't think Bruno Vanage is a great captain for United and what they need and what they get. He can perform on the field, no doubt about it. As far as if they need a goal, he'll get them the goal. He wants to put a ball into the into the area. He'll get it done. But in regards to leading the team, and I know some people say his actions are just, you see that from everybody. I'm like, that's not what this team needs right now. He's at a level and they're not, and he wants them to be, and that's not happening. And he's upset about it. From what I see, right? There's certain people that will build you up, and there's certain people that will make you feel small. I feel like he makes them feel small because they're not at his level. Right, you see him when he plays for Portugal. He is not the big man there, no matter how old Ronaldo is, right? And he's not. You see that squad there, right? I mean, what is it, Mendy? That is a bad man, right? Like, I don't think you'll see Bruno talking to him about anything. You know what I mean? Man's like, I got a Champions League, and now I got a Nations League, and I was definitely one of the contributors to that. So I feel like when he is the top dog, I don't think he handles it correctly. When he's one of the good players on the squad, it looks different and it feels different to me.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell my camera's doing.
It's just moving around. Is it because of the fans or something?
No.
That's weird. It keeps just moving. You just have to fill. It says, let me see if I can get Tony in every corner of the screen. We're judging a young starlet by his time at a bad team. I think he was. You know what? If that's the case, then what did you see from Saka when he was on a worse team than we have right now? He stood out. So I hear you, BX, but I don't think Saka didn't stand out, even as a young starlet at a team that wasn't where we wanted it to be. So I hear you, but I don't agree with that one. Yeah,
it's the attitude for me.
Yeah, so I feel like, you know what, he's not worth the money for us right now. If we had players earning 200K a week or something like that, and you brought him in, maybe, but I don't think so.
I think about the rejects, right? Like, what's something like you've managed before, Gary, and I'm assuming you have as well, Tony. Like, I can deal with lack of talent, but I can't deal with poor attitude.
Yeah.
Like, we can teach some things talent wise, but as far as your attitude, if your attitude's not good, then you're not going to be value added.
Yeah,
that's where your assistant coaches come in to talk about him, tell him, hey, you need to change your attitude. You can't
Mhm.
say or do this.
Yeah.
Nope.
And you know what? And that to me is why, and I feel like when you have a captain like a Bruno, then you're going to see that from some of your players that don't know any better.
Yeah, and look at the culture he sets too, right?
So I mean, I know some people say he's not that bad. I'm like, he's not the one you want.
Yeah.
I don't know who. I mean, to some degree, I believe Harry Maguire is the better captain, not the better talent,
I'd
but the
agree with
better
that.
captain in the sense of what he brings to the table and what his attitude and he's delivered for them the same way that Bruno has in games this season. Even though I'm like we're laughing at him at one time, and next thing we know he's scoring goals. Right? He does whatever they ask him to do. I don't know if Bruno's going to do that in my eyes. So I kind of felt like what. There's different ways
For
to
us,
lead.
I feel like Gabrielle's the de facto captain.
Yeah.
Like
No,
you
he
see what he's
definitely.
doing
Yeah.
on the pitch and all the talking he does to
Yeah. Yeah.
players.
Yeah.
And Rice would be the number 2.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for what Arsenal needs, I think Erdogan doesn't fit the mold. That's all. I mean, we're not there yet where an Erdogan can lead us, kind of thing, because we don't have. I don't. I don't know. I just don't think. I think we need that Gabriel guy. Because you know what? Who's the teams that are beating us are they're doing the things that we need Gabriel to stand up for us, right? We need the Rice go out there and do all that, and then Erdogan. I don't know. He's organizing us, right? Maybe when he gets his legs back and he's pressing up top, things will change. Because I miss that from him. But in reality,
I just don't think that's what his instructions are now.
well, no, I just think he hasn't been healthy to do that. That's why I think he hasn't been doing it. Is because he's not healthy. When he's healthy, I expect him to be back up there pressing for the top with Havertz when Havertz is in the game. Yeah. Garnacho goes against the grain. I like that grittiness. Ronaldo is his goat, and he's from Argentina. I like a rebel. Hey, you got to back it up, and I don't think he's at that level. I don't know if you see a Ronaldo in Garnacho's future in terms of his style of play. I don't think that's Yamal. Yamal looks like a player that is in Ronaldo, right? He's got the tech. He's got the talent, the technique, right? I don't think Garnacho has that technique, right? We're not saying that about him. So you put Ronaldo and Garnacho in the same sentence. I think you're, that's a little bit too much. I don't think he's at that. He's on that path. Not to me, anyways.
There's only a few players you could mention him in the same sentence.
I mean, we saw Yamal and we saw Ronaldo on the same pitch, and one scored, the other one didn't. Right? I think Yamal against who did they play? When they played Inter and that game went back and forth. That's what I was hoping to see in that final, and I didn't see that Yamal. Maybe he's tired. I'm not sure.
Players, I think why not hit on the case right there.
Yeah.
Two different styles. Yamal's more of a messy style.
No, but I'm talking about levels. I'm talking about levels here. I don't think Garnacho's at a Yamal level in terms of talent and all of that.
Nowhere near it.
But I think Yamal is closer to a Ronaldo level in terms of talent. Maybe not the skill sets and the way they play and all of that, what positions they play. But I feel like that's I don't think you compare Garnacho and Ronaldo is what I'm trying to say, more than whether or not they play the same positions, because the same kind of style of play on the pitch. So, I mean, you're saying Messi and Ronaldo with Yamal, and nobody's batting an eye, right? You don't put Garnacho in that sentence.
No.
That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
But it's high expectation for Yamal too. But
Yeah,
we've seen him go out there and do some crazy stuff. So
yeah,
fun to watch. But Garnacho, you can stay at United.
Yeah. Yeah, Phoenix. No, I hear you, but I just wouldn't have brought up Ronaldo when I was I just wouldn't have brought up Ronaldo with Garnacho. Like Even if even if the reason why you brought him up is because he's his favorite player. I don't know what the point of that was, though. You know what I mean? Because he's not. I mean, it's a big ask of a guy on that show to show me something that I go, yeah, it's Ronaldo-esque. Yeah, why not? Actually agrees with me on something to some degrees, but that's kind of that's my point. It's more. I thought levels sometimes. I thought you were talking levels. I thought BX was talking levels there, but it sounds like he was just saying that he favors him. But yeah, no, man, yes. So I was going to say something here. So I think in Weary and Miles Lewis Kelly, their contracts are going to hopefully be going through soon. I'm hoping that happens.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that happens. Yeah. And we let a lot of players go, which I was surprised by. I mean, some of those youth that actually played with us in the preseason are gone now on a free, I think.
But if you look at them, you see why, because they don't ever play first team.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Is it so? Is Arsenal the only one out there letting go 15 academy players, or we only follow Arsenal, so that's why we know?
Could be the second point.
Yeah, because I just, it seemed like a lot of names on that piece of paper.
This 15's a lot.
It seems like a lot from your academy, and then we're going to try to bring players back into the fold, and it's like, wow. The point is, he's a younger, talented Argentinian that openly hails Ronaldo over his teammates and countryman Messi. I like that courage. You like who you like. I don't know. Does he have? He doesn't have to like Messi, right? Especially if he doesn't. I mean, I assume he liked Ronaldo because he looks at himself and says, "That's the kind of player I am, or want to be." Right?
But Ronaldo's done with international football now. Not to play anymore.
I just found something. This is interesting. So this is per the paper, and I don't know their background. I didn't peer review this, so it could be complete whatever. But 90% of Premier League academy players never play a minute in the top flight. The analysis also shows that 70% are not even handed a professional contract at a Premier League or English Football League club, period.
So if you put it like that, for every 10 players that let go, one or two actually make it into to get actually minutes, much less. I mean, I think we've played. I want to say we've played at least 4 or 5 academy players this year. Well, definitely 2 goalkeepers, Miles Lewis Kelly and Nweri. I thought we played one of the midfielders we played. I forget who we got let go, but based on that's almost like that percentage of players from high school that make it to the NFL. Probably like 1 in 10 make it to the NFL, kind of thing. Or maybe that's probably even maybe in college, maybe. But that is, when you hear that stat, then you're like, yeah, the academies aren't creating that many. But since we've been following this thing, Saka's come through. Like, I think in Kedia and in Middlesbrough were already through at that point, right? But Saka's come through. We saw Hutchinson make it into professional ranks. Now we've seen what's his name, the striker that he's going to Monaco. He's already gone. Heaven and Obi have been playing for United, right? And the next big one I think is Max Dallman, right, for Arsenal. I don't think there's another player coming through right now that looks like he's gonna make it. As far as Partey, I mean, what do you guys? I mean, my only news I heard on it is we pushed the paper to him and said, "Here you go," and he has not responded back.
To who? Partey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he has options.
Just 31. I don't think I'd be signing him.
I don't think we should be letting him go.
Do you do a 2-year deal? Do you do a 1-year deal?
1+1.
I mean, that's a good question.
I don't think we like Zubimendi might work out. Zubimendi might not work out.
Yeah.
Partey we know works. We know Rice doesn't work. If it did, then then we would be looking for an 8. You spend 100. You spend 100 mil on a player. If you think he's the 6, then he'll be the 6, right? And then you would just get another 8. And if it played out that way, Miles Lewis Kelly could have been that 8.
I don't know. I want to bring Partey back, but I don't want. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. I want Partey back, but I don't want to mortgage the future on bringing him back. Where
when you say mortgage the future, what do you think they're going to pay him like same
thought
money
that
as
was the
like
whole-
our top players? Don't you think?
I thought that was a hang up. They don't want to pay you the money that he wants.
Yeah, no, I get the not more the mortgage and the house thing. I just think at this point to get over the proverbial line through the wall or whatever, we need to be as strong as we can everywhere we can. So I think that would be the case if we had Partey. Let's see what we got here. I was not surprised he's always letting go of players, owning Arsenal. The Arsenal, that was pure profit out the door. A better, smarter manager gets the players minutes and profit for his. I definitely believe we've done not a good job with the players that gone away, and we haven't been able to cash in on them, and then we see them get think about it. Who's the striker that's going to Monaco? What's his name? Michael
like Barrett.
Barrett. Yes. I mean, he's going for more money than we sold. I don't know. I think we get a percentage of that, but I mean, yeah. So no, I just felt, and for me, it's more the case of Arteta is not utilizing his squad. So when that happens, is what you get. Caveat: letting players go for free, for sure. For free. I mean, I think I've listened to some people talk about, if you're talking about the academy players, it's really hard these days to keep them unless they're at a Skelly or in Wary level. It's hard to keep them. That's my understanding. So if they're not like really destined for first team football at your squad, they're more likely going to go. It's going to be really hard to keep them.
That's why you play those players in the League Cup. Wenger always did.
I mean, we did. We played Charlie Patino. We played, and then we played our 2 goalkeepers in there. I mean, we have, and where he got lots of his minutes there. But how many do you bring in? You know what I mean? I know Wenger did it. I don't think Arteta can afford to do that.
I don't think we can afford to put academy kids in cup competitions.
Not right now.
I think we need to go win whatever we can win at this point.
Right? Not right now. That's my thing. Not right now.
I mean, you can play an academy kid in that, but it needs to be first team heavy. I mean, I say that if your first round Carabao Cup game is against a League 2 side or whatever, League 1.
Well, that's what Wenger was putting the young players.
That would make sense, but if we get like Bournemouth or whoever, you gotta go strong.
I don't think Arteta knows how to manage the squad yet to where he can do something like that. When you're talking about Wenger and talking about Alex Ferguson and how they were able to manage these young squads. I don't think Arteta is at that level yet, not level, but that experience to do something like that. So that's kind of my thing about why we don't see it. I don't think he can. He can. He doesn't know how to utilize the squad he has in the first team, much less we're going to bring in academy players that he doesn't see every day. So yeah, I don't think our academy is set up well enough yet for him to be able to think they're going to work. At least the confidence that he thinks is going to work. We as fans are craving signings. I'm sure the players would like to see the reinforcements bolstered as well. Yeah. Yep. No, we all want to see it, but it's not. We haven't hit that red line yet. It's not. We're not at the end here. It's still in the beginning of this thing. We play Butler, JA, Henry, Francis, and defenders. Yeah. That's what 3 players there. Plus, I don't know if you. I mean, did you think Nweri and Skelly were going to be part of the first team when the season started? I mean, I didn't.
No.
Setford and we played both goalkeepers, right? So I mean, like I said, we played about 7 academy players based on that, right? So I think I mean that's because I was actually looking at that in terms of minutes of the players that got at least a minute. Let's see.
Yeah.
So we had players come in and get like less than a minute, like Heaven and the
Do we really want to count
Kakuri, Kabia, huh?
Do we really want to count the 91-minute substitutions?
You kind of have to, but when you put the average together, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm looking here. Like only Josh Nichols got 90 minutes, and that was probably in a. Yeah, I thought Josh Nichols was going to be a player that we would see a lot more of. But I think with the fact that I think he plays a right back, and I think we just didn't have any minutes for him. But I thought he would have been. So Jack Porter and Setford got they got both 90 minutes in the cup games. Jack Porter is 16. So if Jack Porter can play 90 minutes in a cup match that we win, I think Dowman can play for us.
Was that the United game that was in? Was it the Ram Stadium?
What do you mean?
I'm trying to remember what the summer games were this year. I remember.
I went to the United one.
You went to the United one?
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago. I'm talking about Arsenal played United, I think, at SoFi.
Oh, I don't. Okay, I thought that was last year.
Yeah, it was. It was last year.
Like last summer, I went to one. I went to the one at. Well, did we play them twice? I went to East Rutherford and watched
last year
United play.
Last year was Philly and LA.
Oh, okay. So I went to the one that. Well, I don't know where it was then.
Speaking of a Meadowlands, Gary, you have a single-day SummerSlam tickets are now on sale.
No, you have been saying that. I don't know if I'm going to go.
They had the 2-day tickets, now it's a 1-day ticket.
I hear you. I don't know about that.
Probably going to be super hot, Gary. Going to be super hot, super miserable, super not know what's going on.
Yeah, I think I like watching it from the TV.
Everybody's going to be cheering. You're going to be like,
I'm like, what are they talking? And I'm not going to know what they're talking about when they say stuff and people are all like laughing and giggling. I'm like, what is that all about? 2+1. I don't know about a 2+1 for Partey. I get a 1.1, 1+1 because I think Partey's got about 2 years with us at max.
See, if you were going to extend Partey, I feel like you should have done it last year and restructured last year's deal.
If you thought he was going to be healthy, but if you didn't, which we didn't, you don't do that, right?
I don't think he resigns.
Yeah. Partey hasn't replied, but I think get someone else. I mean, I think that Berta has, based on what I've read, and I don't know if you guys seen it, like there's a process to what he does.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we've kind of had both Guterres and Shesko as options, is because he likes to have plan B. We always talk about a plan B. This is what it looks like in Bert's world. You might not like it, but this is what it looks like. So, yeah, 2+1 on the wages he's on for. Yeah, I think that's the problem. The wages. Barrack, that's right. Mika Barrack, that's right. Yeah, no, yeah. Hopefully we did have a sign on part of his contract, so we get a little bit of extra money. Yeah, no. Selling players is a thing. I think the problem is players aren't signing before they get to the point where you can act. They're not signing professional contracts. When they don't sign a professional contract, you're not getting any money for them except for whatever the minimum is for an academy player. So I think that's the problem, and that's just the new age agents that have kicked into that. So
I think I'm gonna change my position. We should sign Partey long term.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's about winning a trophy, and if we don't, you got to go for it.
Yeah. The 1+1 for me is a 2-year contract if we do well.
Well, here's the reality of it too. If you're going to buy a replacement, you're already buying the replacement, but now you're going to have to buy another replacement on top of that, and then pay that person on top of that. You might as well pay the money to keep the player around, and if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out.
Just
I don't know what I said, but
past
Biggs liked it.
injuries would be a hard
What did I
time
say?
for
Do you know
me.
what I said?
Hmm?
You know what I said? Biggs liked it.
Yeah, the 1+1.
Oh, okay. I don't know if that's what I said. I don't think Arteta has the managerial and coaching capabilities to play more than one underdeveloped player in one team at a time, like a Glasner.
I don't think that's accurate.
I think he's got the coaching. I don't think he has the managerial part, which shows up like he doesn't know what he's doing coaching wise. Is I think what happens. You don't give like for me. I don't think in where he should have played as many games as he played. I think he needed more minutes. And I think that's why he started looking really poor towards the end of the season because I think he just played too many games. That's the way I looked at it.
That's what happens when you jump from under 17s to the
Yeah.
main team.
Yeah. That's why I said I wanted Nweri to not get so many minutes. I'd rather get him, give him a decent amount. But then, when we needed him, we could still use him, and we didn't even use him anymore towards the end of the season just because he wasn't, available to us.
Yeah, but look back
physically.
in October and November. He could have played when Odegaard was out.
I was with you on that. But he, according to Arteta, he wasn't ready, I guess, based on his actions. What about the American at Milan to replace Partey? I don't know what that player is. He must be young, right? Partey was partayed out. I don't know about when. What? I don't know what that means.
Partied out.
No, but when was he partied out?
Who's making a pun?
Huh?
He was just making a pun. I don't think it's serious.
No, I mean Partey is a right back partied out. Partey in a preferred position looked really good. I think Arteta utilized him too much and didn't trust anybody else to take that spot on the pitch, which I think was bad. Bad.
Well, we'll find out what happens soon. I mean,
we will find out soon. By the time we get back, hopefully we have some answers.
I mean, is that the thing where now that Zubimende is potentially going to, if he takes Arsenal, let's just say, that Real Madrid swoops up and takes Partey?
That could happen.
So, I mean, is it possible that Partey could go, hey, I want to go to Saudi and go make funny money?
I mean, go wherever he wants. He's in full control.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I'll say this much, if you get pinched by Saudi and they pay him some stupid salary, there's nothing you can do about it. Those are one of those ones that you're going to just hold your hands up and say, he's not that serious about winning. He wants to go make money.
Yeah, you see a lot of players now. They're saying no to Saudi. So
because you're 31.
Yeah,
I might say yes to Saudi.
Yeah,
just because it's your last payday.
Definitely a big payday if they think he can do it there. No, you're right, Tiger and Guna. Partey, I think Partey dying at the end of the season was. I don't think he should have played in any of those games where we needed a right back. We lost 7 of them.
Yep.
Or we dropped points in 7 of them.
And everybody blamed Havertz.
I think no. I think there's some correlation to having him as a right back. Not all on him, but I think it just weakens the entire team. Like Moreno in the PSG game, moving him to the midfield crushed us in 2 positions, 2 levels, and 2 lines. Our front line and our mid line both were crippled by that move. So yeah, personally, I can't wait till July 1st. Plenty of more clarity, but put down side preseason started. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's July 16th, right when we take off. So we'll find this Arsenal, I believe, will continue trying to work on players, and by the time July 1st comes, hopefully we've got at least 3 or 4 players in the squad or ready to go. But July 16th, I think, when they show those players walking up the steps to the plane, I mean, my understanding is we could have anywhere from 5 to 7 players if we get, if we do what we need to do.
Yeah, I'll just operate patience.
Yeah.
I
What
mean,
if part
I can see where you can get in the pigeonhole of the transfer market of uncertainty, and you kind of get frustrated from it. I can see where that comes from. I mean, I watch some of the transfer stuff too. I won't watch everybody's stuff, but I turn on the Sky Sports and watch the updates, and they tell you a lot of nothing. I'm still impressed how they do that show and really have no news.
Mhm.
But I still enjoy watching it. I'm not completely upset with the window so far. I mean, like the window really hasn't opened. Like it's open, but I don't expect much.
Yeah.
If we're sitting here July 1st and nothing's happened, I'll have a different view.
Yeah.
Or even July 15th, for example. If we haven't signed a couple by then, then yeah, there's a conversation that definitely needs to be had.
I hear you.
And again, I just don't want them to just drop money to drop money at this time. Like 80 million for Sheshko just feels really crazy to me. Like, I feel like if you're going to drop 80, you must get Georgas at this point. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of the potential. Buying a player on potential when we don't need
Correct.
potential. We need
Why not says
now.
everything.
Now we want now. Somebody could give it to us now.
Why
Yeah.
not's answer is 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Time and transfers isn't the problem. It's the
Yeah.
quality.
Yeah,
You better
I mean,
bring quality.
Zubermendi is quality. Shesko is unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Unknown for everybody. He's got some of the skill sets that we want. Will they play out? We have to wait and see.
Yeah.
How come Arsenal not having a preseason in America this year? I think a lot of people have been wise. I'm glad that Arsenal's not having a preseason in America. I mean, it's an English team. One,
Yeah.
they should be either in Europe, Far East, or whatever. I think a lot of people. I've listened to a lot of people say, Arsenal used to go out to the Far East and stuff like that and play. They haven't done that in so long.
It's American owners, though.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about a global team. You go to America all the time. You're not really global. Then you're trying to cater to one piece, one part of the world. What about the rest of the world, who also considers himself a fan?
Well, let's think about it from that perspective too, right? So we've seen, I think, the time I've really, really followed this club, like religiously, not missing a game. I think 2019 they did the ICC it was, and then I think 22 we had. I don't know. It seems like 3 or 4 times they've been over here, right? They didn't. They can't.
At least
Oh
3
yeah,
times.
one of those years I missed it. It was they played in Baltimore, Everton, and then they played Chelsea down in Florida. I didn't go to that one, which I could have gone to the Baltimore one, but. And then the following year they did the MLS All-Star game and then the United game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then last year they played Liverpool. They've been over here so many times that I've decided not to go to some of the games, right? But I've gone to like 2 of them. So
yeah, no, I Well, when I worked in Malaysia for about 6 months, and in Malaysia they had this mall. It was built like a pyramid, and in that pyramid they had a fan store, Manchester United fan store, in Malaysia. And you're like, there's no Arsenal there. There's Manchester United, and that's what you want. You want to be a global name, and if you don't go and share your share what you have to offer to the world, then you cut off a supply, demand, and all of that, a following, and all of that. So people should expect to see them once in a while, not every year, but back-to-back years in the States, I think it was from a marketing perspective, wasn't a good move. If
Yeah.
Shesko is Arteta's guy, I'm happy for him. You know what? Hopefully, that's the thing. If he is, then I tell him better make sure it works. The only way it's going to work is if he plays him. My problem is, will he play him?
See, I think that they got paid pretty heavy price to play the MLS All-Star game. I imagine that was pretty decent money. That's why they did probably the American tour 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it looks. I mean, the fact that they play in the SoFi, we know why they do that, right? So it's like, nah. Tyler Adams in the 6th and signed Partey to another year with an option for a second part. You know what you're talking about? Tyler Adams, who is he going to be healthy?
Yeah, that's
kind of been his issue for him, right? He came out with Leeds, got injured, and then you're like, it's taken him about 2 years to get back to where he is now. Partey already a concern. Who knows how he's going to play out? So I don't know about Tyler Adams. I like Zubamendi better if that's where, Tyler Adams. I wanted to bring in Tyler Adams when I saw him at Leeds. Then he got injured. I was like, that's all right.
Yeah,
that's all right.
There's a rumor flying around that Leeds are looking at Nick Pope. Which again, why would you go from Newcastle?
Yeah. Steven, who's our panic buy at the end of the window? Eddie and Kedia? Nah. I think hopefully we're done with panic buys. I mean, panic loans is probably, if they bought Eddie, that's better than loaning him. Let's just say that, even though I don't want him either way.
I'm going to make you upset, Garrett Barry, but it's either going to be Shesko or Ollie Watkins.
What do you mean?
If Shesko falls through, they're going to just go buy Ollie Watkins.
I wanted Ollie Watkins in January, dude.
I know. I knew you were going to say that, too. That's why I said That's why I said sorry to upset you, Gary. But
you're going to upset me. No, not with that one.
We'll bring back some old memories.
They need to go back to Australia. So, yeah, Tiger and Gooden, definitely need to go to Australia. I know there's a lot of fans there who would like to see that, for sure. For sure. They should do that. Bit of a hike, but whatever. You got to do it. 2019, I got to see fresh-faced rookie and Martinelli in Charlotte. So there you go.
I mean, I guess you could do America safely, and I think you could do Asia safely. Well, I don't know about South America. Yeah,
I don't know how that will play out there.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I don't think
I doubt the fandom in the Americas would play out much in the South and Central Americas.
But you should do every other year. One in America, one in Asia.
Well, you gotta do. True.
Maybe call Saudi up and say, "Hey, we'll play Al Hilal."
Yeah,
and smash them.
You said Arsenal store in Phuket. I was in Phuket. I didn't see. I mean, I didn't go much. Much in Thailand, but cool. Yeah, no, I mean that's what I'm saying. Arsenal should spread their wings and share what they have to offer with others.
Mm-hmm.
Bring Diego Luna from MLS to Arsenal. I don't know who that player is. What player from the MLS has made it in the Premier League in Uganda?
Oh.
I'm not sure.
I
don't know if that's the step. I know MLS to places in Europe and then to the Premier League. But Tyler Adams has that dog in him. No, I would like him. I just don't know. Like I said, I don't know how healthy he is and if that's a risk.
Where's Jack Grealish end up? I heard a rumor today about Everton.
What do we got
crazy.
here? We got Watkins is in the radar. Yeah, no, if they did like a Watkins and a Jonathan David, because it would have been like the cheapest way to bring in two strikers, I would have liked it.
Well, if you could have done that, hear me out. Watkins, Jonathan David, and then purchase Rodrigo. You have my attention. I do like the Morgan Rogers shout, but I just don't know where he fits into the squad.
Well, that's an Erdegaard question, right? He's not taking Rice's spot. He's taking Zubamendi's spot. So the only place he can play is Erdegaard would have to take a seat. I don't know if Arteta would like to do that. I just feel like that kind of loyalty at some point it will have to change because if he has another season and this season he's healthy or he gets injured again, you got to seriously think about whether or not he's going to work. We can't be leaning on him and he's not available and he's not performing.
I mean,
Yeah, Tiger Goodness said whatever you said he liked. So getting a little bit of love from the chat.
well, I was talking about the Asia and America switching that up and having them.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was cool to, have them come over here for the America tour and stuff. And
I mean, it'd be cool to take a trip to Australia, watch Arsenal, because you're never gonna really you don't always have something else to go to another country for. But if you could go to Australia, see the sights there, but then also like take in an Arsenal match as well. That would be cool.
I'm going to Australia to go check out some Aussie rules.
No. You're gonna but I'm saying, but then on top, you're gonna go see Arsenal because they're there as well. You're like, yes, this is like the bonus. It's the big bonus. That's what I'm saying.
That's a tough one, man.
I would do the Aussie rule and the Arsenal game if it was around the same
That's
time.
a long flight to Australia though. Like,
oh, stop it! You haven't flown on the long flights.
I flew 18 hours to Bahrain.
So then you're all right. You'll be all right then. You'll be all right.
And
you didn't do that for fun. You did that for work.
I absolutely did not do that for fun.
This is like, hey,
fun. Where do you want to go? This little country outside Saudi. Yes. No, that was definitely not for fun.
Duran was
Although to be fair, I got to land in Bulgaria. I wish we could have actually done something in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did Duran come straight from the MLS to Premier League?
I don't know.
I think that's what he's saying. My thing is, do they come direct? Turner did, and that didn't play out the way we expected. I see Turner now is going to.
I'm trying to. Well, I don't think Turner was horrific, but he wasn't good.
It wasn't, but I think he actually is going to Europe somewhere and playing there as a backup. Leon, I think. I think it's Leon. Yeah. Yeah, they announced the summer tour. Let me tell you. I'll tell you the summer tour. Arsenal.
Pulisic came from Dortmund. I don't know who he came from before then.
Yeah. Let's see this. The tour kicks off on July 23rd with a match against AC Milan in Singapore. Then they face Newcastle on the 27th, also in Singapore. Then they continue on, fly up a little bit north to play that team in Hong Kong on the 31st.
So, okay, there's the other question. So the Middle East tour or Asia tour, how long does Ryan do streams and does he stay up? I mean, because what would that be? That would be what, in the middle of the day for him?
That says I think it says 12:30 p.m. BST. That's British time, right?
Yeah.
So it's that's not a 5-hour difference, is it? No,
it's gotta be longer than that.
No, that's a 7-hour difference, I think.
It might still be longer. No, that's right. Yeah, 5 hours from UK to America. It's a 3-hour difference from Bahrain, so probably might be 5 to 6 hour difference.
Yeah, so it says 7:30 p.m. Singapore time, 12:30 p.m., which I assume BST is for British time.
7.5 hours. Yeah.
So that's
middle of the day.
That's 7:30 a.m. for us in the States. So you wake up in the morning, you go watch them, and all the games are at the same time, 12:30. So, you can watch. Oh, Tony, you left me again, dude. Stop doing that. Turner is signing for Leon. Yeah.
I was muted and couldn't say anything. Yeah. Spencer, I was going to tell you, I believe it was Sunday night. I flipped the TV through some channel. Aussie rules on at like 11 o'clock. And it's like it's usually 4 or 5 in the morning. Not 11 p.m.
It's fun to watch, man. I mean, those games are long as could be, though. 3 hours.
It's just cool to see them get 120 to like 115 or something like that.
I do love
fast-paced.
Yeah. So why not want you as director of football, Spencer? Which I find that sounds frightening to me.
Okay, so I'm going to become director of football just so Why Not can change his YouTube name to say Spencer is a loser.
That's right. Why not? Spencer's a loser. That would be the
I'll
best.
take the heat off Arteta.
That would be the best.
It would be.
I would love it.
He
He's
might
going
be
after you in
switching
the chat.
I
He
would
might be switching
legitimately,
it anyway.
I would legitimately be disappointed if he did change that. So
He
I
would
get
put that up there before you even have day one. It's like they're signing him, and he's like, "I already hate this guy."
it. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I don't know if Durant came direct from MLS. So I think it's hard. I think it's easier to go to Europe and play than it is to come to the UK.
I don't
and
think I still believe this. I know Sam probably disagrees with me on this, but I still think there is a world where 20 years from now, MLS is probably going to be looked at a little differently. Not one of these top leagues, but it'll definitely, I think, be a better established.
I don't think they set it up in such a way that it's going to get to. It should be. I think it should already be there.
But
I don't think they set it up in such a way that it can get there. Because now, what is it? A lot of players that are retiring are like MLS is their next destination, and you don't want that. You want a young player and like that can't get into Barcelona or Madrid's like academy or something like that. Go, you know what? I'll go to the MLS and play and go and build myself up through there because they have a cool setup there. You know what I mean?
Well, they just have so many rules that kind of make it so equal for everybody. Where if you look at the pyramid in England, it's not really set up to be.
You can't make, and that's all about the money. Can't make any money if people have a threat of not making any money.
Yep.
So
now you have the USL that wants to be a first division.
Yeah. So it's a 7-hour difference, but I think it's a day difference. When I was in Malaysia, I would go to work. We'd go to work or whatever, between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, and we would chat with the people in California. And then they were like, "Yeah, I'm just going to bed or whatever." And then by the time we left at night, they were like getting ready to go into work. They would like be calling us from the car on their way to the office. It was crazy. It was like what? BST time. GMT time is UK time, Greenwich Mean. So what is BST time? Oh, that's 7-hour difference. But let's see. I'm dying that's a genius move, Bronco. He was liking what you got to say.
Well, there would be my only thing I would do good for director of football is I recommended that.
Yeah.
So.
I think if Why Not could change his name more often, he'd probably say that about some people.
Well,
I think you have to. You can't just change it every day, right? Or
it's like twice every 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah. So it is almost 100 minutes, and
you can always make burner accounts.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's 100 minutes. We're gonna get ready to get out of here, but as I've said before, and I'll say before we end, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The DWTT channel will be shut down for 2 weeks. We'll be back. We'll be back on Saturday, which would be, I think, the 21st. Yeah, the 21st. And then we'll be back here on the 23rd. So check us out. Yeah, if we were to get Watkins, David, Rodrigo, that would be a good window. British Standard Time. There you go.
I think even Watkins and Rodriguez could win. Period.
Yeah, Rodrigo makes whatever we do in the middle good. Because if you said you brought in Shesko and you had Rodrigo, you bring in whoever and you bring Rodrigo, and you bring in whoever and you bring in Rodrigo, you got Isaka, who hopefully returns back to form. Yeah. You got Rodrigo on those wings. That's going to make it so much easier for those that guy in the middle. They're not going to be able to. If they try to get the Saka with 3 and 4 players, he'll just swing it across real quick, and then you're in trouble.
Well, again, that's upgrade the quality around, and it'll flourish even more.
Yeah. All right. So, Spencer, people want to hear from you before we head out of here.
Well, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
He's a man of many words on the outros.
Well, sometimes I have a lot to say, and I think it's been fun. There's not really much to talk about. I think we made it through. It's just one. I just breathe everybody through the transfer window. I know it's easier said than done. You can get wrapped up in the. I mean, I've sat there and refreshed Twitter sometimes, but I'm better at it now. I just go about my day. But you can get really caught lost in the sauce if you allow it to happen. I've been there. I've done it. So just be careful. Don't believe everything you hear until you see the shirt.
Very, very true. All right. Tony, what you say you?
Did two wrestling shows Saturday, and now we'll do one Thursday.
Check
Your
out.
time.
We'll check out. What is
Yeah.
it called now? Missile drop kick.
Yeah.
Did I have that right?
Yep.
Cool. All right. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, we're gonna have a break. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. As Spencer said, karma. You won't get what you want as soon as you want, but I believe you'll get something, and you either can complain about it or look at the bright side of it. July 1st, baby. That's when we get everybody. We'll see. Hopefully by July 1st, we're like just filling in gaps. I mean, that's what I would like to see, because July 16th, the window's back open again. I think the way it will work is Arsenal would still continue to do mostly everything that they were doing. They just can't sign the paper, or they can't do the medical and make it official. So thank you, BX, for showing up, Steven for showing up, Why Not for showing up. We had Tiger and Gooner in the house. Thanks for joining us. Who else joined us? Oh, Miss Melina jumped in early. Rosie was in. She said hello and good night. So yes, thanks for joining us. We'll do this thing again. See us in 2 weeks. Subscribe and like, and we are out.
Life is a journey. Don't waste your trip.
Hey, we made it.